Hello teachers, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we are going to talk about some teaching tips. Let's talk about monitoring. Monitoring is something that we do automatically. But do we often think about how purposeful our monitoring is when we start going around the class? It's not just about walking around or listening to our students. It needs to have purposes. So let's explore some different purposes of monitoring. So number one is to check whether students are on task and following instructions. To do this effectively, you need to start monitoring early. Instead of sticking with just one group of learners for several minutes, try to go around the class and see if everybody is on the right task. If you find out that several learners are doing something different from what you expected them to do, it is time for you to stop what they are doing and start giving instructions again, because it is probably a problem with the task, not with the language. And number two, monitoring is also used to assess learners' understanding of the target language and skill. When you're monitoring, try to find out what things students struggle with. If several learners are making the same mistake, it means the target language or skill hasn't been fully clarified. So noticing these patterns helps you decide what needs to be addressed in feedback or reclarified instead of going around the class correcting students one by one. Here is to carry a notebook and a pencil or a pen with you as you monitor, to write down symbols or maybe short phrases as you identify problematic areas. This allows you to monitor purposefully without becoming disengaged from the class. And number three, monitoring also helps you evaluate the effectiveness and suitability of the activity. When you're monitoring, ask yourself these questions. Are your learners engaged? Do they find the task too difficult or too easy? Is the task under-challenging for them? Is the task producing the type of interaction and language that you expected? This information tells you about how effective your task is and what needs to be adjusted in the next lesson. And number four, monitoring also allows you to notice interesting ideas or responses to highlight during content feedback. So to do this, listen not only for language but also for meaning. Nominate the students with interesting ideas to share them with the class in content feedback. Acknowledging learners' ideas is especially motivating in adult classes. So avoid sticking with one group for a long time or moving from one group to another without collecting any data. Stay long enough with the group to understand what they are saying. And number five, you may also monitor it in order to offer useful language or prompts that help students complete the task. So when you're monitoring learners, when you realize that learners are struggling or looking for what to say or don't know what to say, provide them with the necessary language. But remember, when doing this, offer language that supports the task without taking control of it. And finally, monitor to know what to do next. Monitoring provides the information you need to determine the next stage of the lesson, whether learners need more practice, more support, or are ready to move on. This insight allows you to pivot in real time. So by identifying the gaps during the task, you can decide whether to conduct a brief whole class check-in to clarify common hurdles or to proceed to a more challenging extension activity. So next time when you monitor purposefully. When your monitoring is purposeful, it leads to the most important outcome: informed decision making. Effective monitoring starts with clear monitoring aims and practical strategies, which results in making good teaching decisions. So once you start monitoring, ask yourself, what am I monitoring for? After class, ask yourself, did I monitor purposefully in every stage of the lesson? When monitoring is purposeful, it feels invisible to learners, but it gives the teacher the insight needed to support learning effectively.